Good morning, Cameron. He's in his happy place. Morning, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday. Harv, you got anything to say to everybody? Well spoken as always. Well, as you can imagine, one of the things we're trying to do today is get started on tillage. Cameron's going to go give it a try, see what the ground is like. We're worried it might be a little too sticky yet based on the way the ground acted when we were baling yesterday, but you never really know until you try. So that's kind of the real big one. I'm going to get our manure spreader hooked up hopefully here in just a little bit. We've got some warranty stuff they're going to come do to it, if I'm thinking right. I don't know. They got to come work on it. It's all covered under warranty. And then this afternoon, hopefully we can finish baling, because it'd be nice to get that done before tomorrow's snow chance. It'd be really nice to get that done before. Oh, would you look at that? Cameron even started the tractor for me. What a nice guy. But yeah, we're done with the VT until next year, so get it unhooked, get the manure spreader hooked up. Hadn't drove this tractor since the summer. You forget how squirrely it is. Alright, now this fun. And that is always a nightmare. That pen fits so tight, it's always a pain to get it out. Holy crap, it's actually loose. I am not at all joking when I tell you there's been times it's taken 30 minutes to get that pin out. Holy crap, that was awesome. I'm gonna bring you guys along for that more often. But yeah, you can see the bushing in there. It's nowhere close to lining up now that I jacked it up, so. The problem is, this whole thing based on how you park out here, you can see we're on a hill. It wants to twist just slightly, and then it don't worky. Okay, now we just gotta thank Skinny for this part, because it's a snug fit. So I'm not gonna lie, you got pretty decent visibility from up in the cab to back here. But you can't see anything past this. And this is all offset, so you don't know where to aim. I'd say for a first try, that ain't bad. Gotta come back a touch and over to the side. This is gonna be the part that takes forever by myself. Tried to get help, there's nobody to help, so it's just you and me. You wanna tell me where to go, please? 17 attempts later, we got it. Got my steps in climbing into that. Need some WD-40 for the PTO, so I think I'm going to limp this down to the shed. Get that figured out before I get all this stuff in my way. By the way, that is a very, very heavy jack that you have to lift up onto the stand behind the ladder. Excellent placement. 30 minutes later, finally got it all put together. Problem is though, because I didn't mark any of these with a zip tie like normal, because I'm a moron, I don't know if any of these are correct. This one and this one aren't that big a deal. This guy's the floor, the pump for the floor, which they say it cannot pump backwards. Guess we'll find out. That seems like it's pulling pretty tight on them hoses, but if I remember right, yeah, with the PTO set up the way it is, I can't turn crazy short anyways because it puts it in too sharp of a bind. On the other hand though, you see the tires at an angle, so I got that hydraulic hooked up correct. The in-gate, I am backwards. That should be down, and that should be up. So now the real question is, did I hook up the floor right? In order to test that theory, we have to figure out if the PTO wants to cooperate. If you were here last spring, you know I had a lot of trouble with this PTO at the start of every day. Just the start of the day, the first time kicking it in, it acts like the PTO is like stuck, and it puts a lot of force on real quick and just snaps the shear bolt on the manure spreader. I don't know what the problem is. I got to the point where every day I would go spin the beaters backwards, I'd spin the PTO backwards just to make sure everything was loose. Sometimes that worked, sometimes it didn't. I know the outcome here, so I don't want to do this. But for YouTube's sake, we gotta try it. Holy crap, it turned. It turned. Wow. Wow. Okay, so let's open up our door. I'll open it all the way so you guys can see. There's the beaters. Okay. So just need that open a little ways. The floor won't move if that door is all the way closed. So then I come into here. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. Got to turn that to on. My target is 20 ton to the acre. I've got negative 900 pounds on. This weird ass calibration number, I have no idea what it means. I just know that's not what it should be at. It should be at like a 1.5. So what happens now, I'm going to pull forward. Got no chain movement. So if I go backwards, there we go, there's my chain movement. Okay, so I hooked that hydraulic up backwards. But the important part is we got chain movement. I need to close this. I don't have near enough flow. I wonder if I max, do I gotta max that out at all times? I suppose so, and then it just regulates how much it flows. I think that's why it has the return to tank too, so that way you don't heat up your hydraulic oil. You do not sound happy. It's probably because hydraulic oil is cold, so it's not one to pump. Awesome! We are in business! So, I gotta call the dealership now. Let them know they can come put on that valve. Seeing as how it's Thanksgiving this week, I doubt they're going to come this week. Get them here next week. We can have some booze spread before Christmas. That'd be all right with me. Because there is a big pile hiding back there on the other side of the silage. Plus, there is a lot of manure in these pins. We're trying to be careful how much of that we haul out, just because we want to leave a pile in there for the next time it rains or snows, so they got some high ground. We can put bedding out. Hopefully make it through the next storm better than the last one. But that's besides the point. The important thing right now, it worked. Okay, here we go. 100 acres and alfalfa 24 is finished. There's just enough of a row out there. I can't speed up or it'll pick up none of it. And then it makes it absolutely useless to have even done this, so don't really have anything else to do, so we'll just go a little slower. Can't tell through the camera how well it picks up all them rows out there, so we got kind of a heavier spot down there where Bart's at, and then a strip near the pivot point. 2/3 of this field obviously isn't worth messing with, but as I've said in the previous videos, the main thing we're doing this for is get the fields cleaned up. One, it just looks better. That's not exactly justifiable, but you know, you gotta drive by it every day. It's nice to have it looking good. But two, it gets rid of all of this, what I would call in the springtime, debris and trash. If you get this cut off and clean, when we come in and run the harrow across it, and if we try and float it, if all that hay was still here, it would cause problems for that. So this is helping that immensely. The downside, they always say, you know, if you cut off your hay and it doesn't get any regrowth on it, it can shorten the lifespan of your hay stand. That hasn't been an issue for us because dry weather has been killing our hay stands faster than we can kill them. So it's kind of a roll of the dice. We like doing it, some guys don't. To each their own. believe that last field actually made 6 bales. Yeah, I was kind of surprised by that too. Field number 2. As you can see, there ain't nothing here. But as we go down the hill, the rows get pretty decent. Field 2 made a whopping 2 bales. Field 3, though, this one is by far the best. There'll be a few out here. Last 25 acres. Just doing like 8 acres here. We have already matched the number of bales we made off the last 90 acres. But look how good them bales look. This hay has been laying here for a month. It's had like 4 inches of rain on it. That's pretty good looking hay. There we go, guys. That windrow we've been looking for since May. The last one. Alfalfa 2024 is in the books. Come on, Blanca, let's go. Took over for Aaron so he can go finish grinding corn. Go to Blanca and get that half a truckload Barton I just made. There we go. Pretty bales under a roof so they stay pretty. Let's go see what we're going to do with the rest of the day. Okay. Bart wants to get the last of his pipe picked up, so we're going to get that knocked out real quick before the sun goes down. Just simply put that. Oh, I'm pulling apart. If you guys never seen this, this 10-inch PVC pipe. This is what we use for a lot of irrigation still on flood ground. Basically, you just slide open these gates where you want the water to come out, and you just, with the amount of water we usually run, you can do about 3 pipe at a time. Oh, that brings back memories. We did miles upon miles of this back when I was in high school. We didn't really start adding pivots till I got out of college, so I've got my experience on this. Oddly enough, we quit doing this and I started gaining weight. That's kind of weird, right? And 30 minutes later, the project is done. Now what? I hate it. It starts cooling off for the day at 3:30. You can tell the temperature's falling fast. That 59 is wrong. Must be too early for all the colors. There's not much color there yet. Getting the gates turned for Cameron, he went to the sale barn to pick up a semi-load of new cattle. So down the alley and into the pen. And speaking of new cattle, the farm got its next check pen. Bart and I bought this pen of cattle. I don't have any of the numbers wrote down, so for the life of me I couldn't tell you what they weigh, what they cost, anything like that, because I've got zero ability to retain numbers. Unlike the tuna over there, he can remember every damn number he's ever heard. So these guys cannot be sorted, whereas traditionally our cattle are sorted several times. So that's why I called this a check pen. Basically, it lets the farm get a real firm grasp on average daily gain, stuff like that. So that way we kind of know what's going on. These guys more than likely will leave, what was it, late November? They'll leave late February, give or take a couple of weeks there. So we'll get them contracted out so we don't have to worry. We always try to forward contract every load that we can. It's too big of a risk to play the game of, well, maybe they'll go up a couple of bucks and we can make more money. Or maybe they'll drop 10 bucks and you'll go broke in 2 days. I've heard way too many stories of people I know that have had cattle no longer have cattle, and it took years of hard work to dig their way out of that mess. Thought I'd come back up here while there's a little bit more light. Figured you couldn't see these guys in that last video. But as you can see, they're all settled in, nice and cozy. Guys, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving, or I guess I should say had, because those come out sometime in December. But either way, hope you had a great Thanksgiving, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.